something just happened then. It just pushed out something. There was an error. It just flicked up an error. And then...
My other glasses at work.
Oh, yeah. Lenny,
Yeah.
we're live.
Oh, hello.
We're live.
Live and kicking.
Modern technology. Hooray.
into the 21st century.
Finally, we're finally in the 21st century. Okay, and we've got the wonderful Yvette who's giving us. Well, I've frozen. I'm not.
I saw Yvette for a second.
You did, just for a moment. Oh, play. Do I have to play it?
Don't worry about that.
I'm not touching that.
Look at the other one.
Okay. Oh, what's?
1 times, 2 times, 3 times.
Oh, the Zoom one. Right. Okay. But then if I comment, I'm supposed to have the Facebook comments.
Do it. Look at my phone.
On my phone. Okay. I'm going to do comments on my phone. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, love it. Love it. Yes. If you can share it, Lenny, please.
Am I sharing this on Facebook?
Yeah, it's in the group, in the Making Math Fun for Children of All Ages group.
Okay. I've got a bit of a tickle. Oh, I can see something live on. Oh, right. So share that.
Yes.
Share your story. Share now. Join us.
Yeah, if you do a watch party on my one. Oh, I can share it on mine. I'll do a watch party. I'm going to do a watch party on mine. I did that the other day. I was so excited. Did a watch party for a bubbler. And so anyway, so if there's anybody here, I can't actually tell because I'm on Zoom, which is really, oh yes, that's right. I've got to look on my phone to know if there's any comments. So, so yeah, interesting. You need 2 devices to do this. If anybody else is planning to do any Zooms, you need 2 devices to do it. You need to be wide awake at 8 o'clock on a Sunday night. and you need to have the amazing Lenny Williams with you. Lenny, yes. Sorry, what's the Glen?
No, Lenny.
No, I know. And it's like, wait a minute, have I got your name? I know what. Never mind. That's me.
People only call me Glenn when I'm in trouble.
Just call me tech support.
Tech support. I've got tech support. Tech support has. Oh, I've got to answer questions, but I've got to answer. I can answer. I can look. Hi, and I've got my friend, my old school friend, my lovely, dear, wonderful Anne Sorman from Anne Sorman. Sorry, she's got another name now, but I knew her as Anne Sorman, and from Pennsylvania, and the amazing Inky from the lovely Wales, Carnarvon in Wales, and that Steve is here, and Lenny's watching, and I'm going to now share on mine. I'm going to just share to my watch party. I'm going to make a watch party. That's just on mine. Live Q&A to help Matt with maths at home. Q&A to help with maths at home. So I'm doing a watch party on my profile. If you could, anybody, Inky, if you can share or do a watch party, that'd be amazing. Maths at home. Right, start watch party for parents. This is Live Q&A for parents. This is aimed at parents. It's not aimed at children, although I have been told today that apparently I'm going to be doing a broadcast during the day for children. And that will, yay. So that'll include my grandson, it'll include my own little people. And that's who told me I was going to do it, was my grandson. And that will be aimed initially at 4 to 6-year-olds. And then if I get requests for older people, I guess I will just be doing lives throughout the day for people throughout the week for young people of different ages. Start watch party. Here we go. Start watch party. So I started a watch party on my profile, so we'll see how that works. Please do, if you're not on it already, I've got my easy button ready to go. Do you remember the easy button, Lenny?
Oh, sorry. Easy button.
Have you not seen? We did use it.
You and me.
We did use it. Hold on, I've got to do it where the microphone is. The microphone's here.
That was easy.
So if I put the easy button there.
That makes me laugh.
That was easy.
Yeah, that's the idea. So now one of the things. Hi, Julie. Now we've got 2 people from the USA with us. Julie's a wonderful clown called what is it? Buttons. Oh, something buttons. Oh. Something buttons. And Liz is here from Scotland, and another old school friend. Anne's on as well, Liz. So, right, brain function, because something I haven't been sharing the last couple of days is our third live. This is the third of many, but one thing I haven't been sharing is the Aiming High link. Now, the Aiming High link, today's link was, I'll just share this one. The one main resource that I'm going to be encouraging, oh no, I can't share that one because it's on my computer. Not, oh. Yvette, can you put it on there if I send it to you, please? On in the chat.
Okay.
Right, so
Messenger.
oh, not WhatsApp.
Whichever.
Is WhatsApp okay? I'll send it on WhatsApp. Right, so it's on WhatsApp. So this link that I've just sent has got lots and lots of very, very easy to use and but yet mathematically rich for people of all different ages. So this is the one link I'm going to be sharing on every single live except the 2 previous days because I didn't have my head together enough to do it. So no excuses, purely that's just the way it is. And we're also setting up a YouTube channel. And the idea is this is a Q&A. If there are any questions, if not, the lovely Lenny is going to come up with some ideas. So it's Q&A and ideas to help parents that are at home with their children and not sure how to help with maths or just need extra ideas. So if you have questions, please come up with the questions. And then the idea is we'll be creating videos that will go on YouTube, and then we'll put links onto, just basically send the person that's asked the question, and we'll put also links on the group so that the questions will be answered and hopefully be of benefit to many people. So any question you ask will be helpful to anybody else that has a similar problem. So, right, well, welcome Lenny. So Lenny, can you please, well, let me tell you a little bit about Bubbly Maths. Bubbly Maths, I founded 15 years ago, and we've now, we've expanded enormously. There are now 3 of us on the team. 2 of us go out to schools, do workshops and shows. My life's purpose, the purpose of Lovely, the mission, the vision of Bubbly Maths is that every child on earth will love learning and enjoy mathematics. And that is done. And the idea is that children will stop hating and start loving maths. And we work in collaboration with Aiming High, where we have all the online resources. We're creating a YouTube channel, which is called Maths Toys. So that's about the finding the game in maths and finding the maths in games. And then of course there's the Bubbly Maths YouTube channel, which has been kind of ticking along recently, but now we're going to really start cranking it up with responses to questions like these, and the resources will go in the Maths Toys resource and connections to all kinds of toys. This is going to be an ongoing thing. While we've got this crisis in the world, this is going to be every night, 8 o'clock. And so please do tune in every night. We will be, as I said, my grandson told me I'm going to be doing some presentations during the day for the children. And as often as possible, I will have a co-host. So today it is Lenny Williams. Lenny, would you please tell everyone a little bit about yourself and why you're here tonight?
Hi, Caroline. I'm Lenny. People call me Glenn when I'm in trouble, and call me Dizzy Wizzy when I'm making them laugh. I'm an engineer originally, but I've always loved maths, and I've always loved learning new things, really. And I entertain children, and what I managed to do in a lot of cases is manage to mix fun with learning. So I go into schools and I make fun science lessons. I do maths for children that don't like numbers, and I do Shakespeare with modelling balloons and things like that. So it's about making learning fun, and yeah, that's it really. It's about making learning fun. I found it fun. I found the best teachers I ever had were either funny, entertaining, or well organised. And I'd like to think that I might carry that forwards a little bit myself.
And Lenny and I are both what I would probably call us amateur mathematicians. Lenny's a lot more scientific than I am. And we have an argument every time we see each other about whether
We bonded over maths.
we bonded over maths, but we always argue over honeycombs. So
Yeah.
he says they're circles, I say they're hexagons. So he's probably right, but I still call it they're hexagons. They're hexagonal prisms. That's it. In my world is simple. Lenny likes to go into the deeper things. So Lenny, what have you got for us today?
Oh, okay, right. Well, I hadn't really prepared anything, but
Oh, you haven't? I know you have.
No.
I've got some things. I've got backups. I've got backups. But
yeah, I never prepare anyone. I had a conversation with my first best and to date my only student, although I picked up another one today. His name is Ben Ferguson. I was going to ask him to join us, but I thought I'd find out what was going on first and then bring him on. And I asked him today. I helped him with his SATs, and we improved him from a possible maybe to did really well. He absolutely shone in the end, and his mum was dead chuffed. And I said, well, what helped you the most? And we started off with basically times tables. He didn't enjoy doing them, although I made them as much fun as I possibly could do. And he realised that was the fundamentals, that if you can't add, you can't multiply. If you can't multiply, you can't remember your numbers. And it makes it so much easier if you start there. And then the other thing that he said helped was making it visual, making everything visual. So moving away from numbers. I taught him perimeters by going out to the park and kicking a ball and then measuring the steps. And we kicked it round in a circle, wrote down our steps, and learned about perimeters that way. And he just we had a little conversation, and he ran upstairs and he came back and he said, I've got my brainy book. I says, what's your brainy book? He says, this is the book that we wrote everything down in that we learned. And it is I can remember that we measured 53 meters around, and this is a year ago. So he said, yeah, being visuals is very important. Being funny was also very important. So if you can make it entertaining, then that helps you retain your knowledge as well. And being interesting, and then really not having a break every now and again also helped him as well, because he has a difficulty with concentration. And we started off short, and then we had longer and longer sessions. And so that's basically what I learned from him today, that make it funny, make it visual, get your times table sorted, and have fun really while you're doing it. Which is,
that's why Lenny and I get on so well, because we completely agree with that. And when I go and visit, we tend to, at the moment when we do jamming sessions, it has in the past been about bubbles, but what I would like to actually to do, Lenny, is let's do some maths jamming sessions over the next few weeks. And we could just literally we do lives without it being at any particular time, and maybe jam live, and hopefully people will just join us naturally, and you and I can just get on with what we're doing, and they can benefit from it.
I think so.
By just seeing what we're doing and get ideas and just whatever, and then you and I can just grow and learn from each other. Well, I can learn from you anyway.
We can share.
We can share. Oh, we got some more people. Oh, Eddie's here. Eddie Ferrero. Oh my goodness, Eddie. We have to have a conversation. I'm not getting as much work done as I should be doing. Oh, Joe, don't listen to this. Close your ears while I say this, Joe. I'm not getting as much work as I'm doing. But one big, huge distraction is that I'm seeing these people that I love so much all over the world, and Eddie's, I believe, now moved to LA, and I'm like, okay, now I have to have a conversation with Eddie, which means my productivity will go down again. That's one of the big things that's Ada's here. Oh, Kathy Cisneros is here. That's 3 old school friends from from Liz, from primary school. All 3 of them are from primary school, and they're all on this call, or they have been at some point. Oh, and oh my goodness, I'm sending people waves. Sorry, I'm just sending people waves. I don't know how else. Oh, and mention Joe. There we go. I managed to say hello to Joe. So right, so that's the principle of it. Visual, make it and from the horse's mouth, from the person who needed that help. Start small. And yes, that is one huge thing, isn't it, Lenny? Is that, especially at the moment, parents are feeling they have to do the job of the teachers. And a lot of parents just feel under pressure anyway, just normal homework with the support of the teachers each day. And one of the huge things is bite-sized chunks. And if the child or you or the child either stops enjoying it or loses concentration, go and do 10 laps of the living room, do an assault course, do something, come back and come back to it. And also, if you find they are absolutely hating something, go away from it completely. Come back another day.
Regroup and come back.
And just do something else. Because as long as they're absolutely hating it and completely switched off and thinking, I can't do this, I'll never do it, then it's completely counterproductive. I don't know what that means. I've just got some kind of error message, which I don't know what to do with, so I'll just close it down, ignore it. So the other thing is, and I say this every day, and I will continue saying this every day, there are two different, there's this amazing woman. If you haven't encountered her, you might be interested in this, Lenny. Let me know if you've heard of her, Carol Dweck. And there's two women, they're now come together. Jo Bowler is a British woman who's an expert in mathematics, and Carol Dweck, they're both at, I think it's Stanford University, it's in the States, and Carol Dweck is a psychologist. She's an academic, she's done lots of research for many years, and on learning, and I don't know where it started off, but it's ended up being on learning. And what she's found is that there are what she calls two different mindsets. There's the growth mindset and the fixed, I'm going to call the growth mindset moves, and then there's a fixed mindset. Let's do that. There's the growth mindset and there's the fixed mindset. And the growth mindset is the person who, when they get a challenge, they go, oh, I'm excited. Okay, let's face this challenge and overcome the challenge, and knowing that at the end of it, they're going to feel really good about themselves because they've done something difficult and come to a conclusion. And then there's the fixed mindset, that if you've encountered this, now I do this myself in many areas, and you can be fixed in some areas and growth in others, or you can be fixed about one thing and growth in other things, even within the same topic. And so for me, I have a block with statistics, and I know I've got a block, so it's on my to-do list is just get over that, get excited about learning statistics. And I have to this year, because this year we're doing the global maths lesson on statistics, so that's it. Doesn't go beyond here. We're celebrating the life, ironically, we're celebrating the life of Florence Nightingale, and it's her 200th birthday this year. And she was the woman who, through statistics, managed to change the way the healthcare system stops infection from spreading. Get that. And it's her 200th anniversary, and there are celebrations all over the virtual celebrations now. And for the global maths lesson on September the 17th, we are celebrating that. So this is my year to stop being a fixed mindset and start being growth mindset about statistics. Have you got anything that you've got a fixed mindset about, Lenny?
Probably have. We had this little conversation, Ben, and we found that he had a fixed mindset on the things that he said he didn't like, which might have been maths, until you made it fun. And then the things he had a growth mindset were things that he liked. So he liked playing Minefield, he liked computer games. And I think that's kind of the trick. I think it's if you don't like something, try and change your mindset, which isn't always easy, but try and change your mindset about it. Maybe pretend that you enjoy it, and or find a way to be positive about it, and then perhaps you can move from a fixed mindset. But I think so. I'm an engineer, and I've got a certain method, and through trial I've worked out what I think is the best way. to do it, and so I'm pretty fixed. That's I know how it works, a method, and yeah, there are things I'm fixed about, and there are things that I'm flexible about.
What I find if you find yourself in a fixed mindset position, I find is ask yourself a question, a very powerful question. For example, if you make mistakes, you feel bad because you've done something wrong, is ask yourself, what did I learn? It's not, or even what can I learn? Ask yourself an open question like, how can I find a way to enjoy this, rather than and it just keep it open, and just asking that question, what did I learn, I find incredibly powerful. Liz, my friend Liz has asked a question, do I have an age group in mind for these sessions? So these sessions in the evenings, these 8 o'clock sessions, there is no age, and no particular age. So the question you ask, I know Archie, I don't know if you're thinking about anybody else or any other children in your life, but these question and answers are relevant to any age, because we're not going to actually be answering the questions tonight, we're going to be giving ideas. So the person that Lenny was talking about will be in year 6, I'm assuming.
He was, yeah.
And then I'm working with my 5-year-old grandson. There's another lady who's got a 5-year who's on, and she's got a 5-year-old, or she'd be 4 or 5, and I've forgotten now, but I've got my notes. And so we'll be creating videos, creating resources, answering questions. Not during, this is only a 30-minute session, so it's not onerous for people that have spent the whole day with maths and don't want to be thinking about it. This is just a conversation. And then if you've got questions, you put them on, and then we'll create videos and create answers, find you resources, send you links to help you, rather than spend half an hour dealing with one question, which may only be relevant to a few people in the group. Hopefully this conversation will be useful to everybody in the group. That's the plan. And if you have feedback, I've waved at Julia. Pindy's on from South Africa, and I can imagine that's the person. I don't know where you're from, Anna. It looks like a Dutch name, but I can't actually say hello to people. But I've seen Liz's comments, and I'm just seeing if there's any. Okay, there's only that one question. So any age, Liz, and just if you need to have a specific issue, just let us know, and we'll let you know. The card is on top of the fridge. So let's see, what else have we got? Right, so we've got 5 minutes left. That was quick, wasn't it, Lenny? Have you got something there that you could just want to share?
Yeah, I was going to say, a couple of things, I suppose, really. I like tricking people into doing maths when they don't expect it. Again, through a little chat, my friend was saying, you taught me algebra. And I said, yeah, it's sort of a complicated name for something quite simple. And if you think of it visually, so I said, for a start, if you had 5 of one thing and 5 of another, A and B, and you put them together, what does that make? That makes 10. And so there you go. So you've got 10. Now, if I take away a certain amount, this is X, and you're left with 8, what does X equal? And he said straight away, 2. I says, well, X equals 2. There's your algebra, and that's all algebra is. So algebra is a lot simpler than it's explained as. It's a lot simpler. It's just the thing you don't know. How do you work out the thing you don't know? And you begin from there. So I find algebra is quite simple. Yeah,
and then you can do algebra with things like fruit and like find out what the person is particularly interested in. So fruit's great if somebody likes fruit, but if somebody doesn't like fruit, then fruit's not so great, because they're like, oh, I talk about fruit. But if it's a child who likes Pokemon, or it's amazing, the statistics, the things that children hold in their head, and working on Pokemon
you can trick people if you've got a dozen eggs in an egg box, and there's 8 left. Somebody's got to shout out who took the 4 eggs. So you've already worked out what X is, how many eggs have vanished. So you can trick people into doing maths, and it becomes part of what they are rather than part of something that they have to learn. So it's if you can relate it to your everyday life, or something you enjoy doing. And I think that's the key to enjoying maths.
So how would you apply that to these lovely tuck boxes that people are having, their little snack boxes that people are finding a way to control what the children just aren't snacking all day long, just randomly taking things out of cupboards. So they've got, let's say, 2 children, 2 snack boxes, each one has 2 sweet snacks and 2 pieces of fruit or something. How would you use that maybe to see the maths in there?
Well, I suppose the reason we've got maths to begin with is because we like to share, or we need to share. We don't get where we are without cooperating. Sometimes that means sharing out what you've got. And I don't know, let's say you had a packet of what's a popular savoury sweet hula hoops, for instance, and you've got 12. You know that you're going to how you're going to be fair with your friend. You're going to share his, he's going to share yours, so you'll give him 6 and you'll have 6.
I don't know about friend right now. We're going to talk sibling here, unless you happen to be sharing a house with your friend and not
and then again, let's just say another friend entered and you've got 12. How are you going to share that?
We're not doing that, Lenny. We're not doing that. No, we're doing it real life here. They've got to share with their siblings. There's no friends in the house. They can't
I'd give up I'd give up when it comes to siblings. They'd never share. I've got 3.
So yeah, sorry, I was a tongue in cheek there. We can't use that as an example right now, Lenny.
No, okay. We'll rehearse this next time. So.
So okay, let's say child A, child B, and child C. Oh my goodness! So we'll call them Alex, Jack, and Susie.
Well, you should go A, B, C, shouldn't you? Alex, Ben, and Charlie.
Alex, Ben. We need at least one girl, 2 girls in there. Alexandra, Ben, and Catherine.
Great, that'll do for me.
So
Caroline.
Oh, Caroline. Oh yes, go for Caroline. Hello. So go on, Lenny. Do it again.
So what you want me to do?
With
siblings, in a real life
situation. Real life today. No friends coming, unfortunately, to share snacks.
Oh right. Oh, because we're all self-isolated.
No.
So they have to be within the family group, I assume.
No.
Yeah.
Assuming the miracle happens and they're going to share. Go on.
All right. So how to make it mathematical but still fun? Is that what you mean? So would you?
The same example, but without having friends coming to stay, because we can't use that.
I see. All right then. So let me think of a useful situation. Oh, are we allowed cake?
Oh yes.
Are we allowed cake? Okay. Yes. So we had a large cake, and Mum cut it into, let's say, 12 pieces. No problem. So I'm just going to share it. Alexandra is only going to share it with Ben to begin with. And they say, right, well, how many pieces are you going to have? And how many pieces am I going to have? Well, they count 1 for you and 1 for me. And they go, another 1 for you and another for me. And they keep sharing it out until one has 6 and the other has 6. And that's all great until Catherine suddenly appears. And she said, oh, are you stealing all the cake? And he said, yes. Well, I'll tell Mum if you don't share some with me. So there you go. What are you going to do? You're going to put it all back together and say, right, 1 for you, 1 for you, 1 for me, 1 for you, 1 for you, 1 for me, 2 piles, 1 for you, 1 for you, 1 for me, 3 piles, and you'll end up with 1 for you, 1 for you, 1 for you, 4 piles, 3 people. We've got 3 times 4 equals 12. We've done maths. We had cake. Everybody's happy. And we didn't realise we've tricked ourselves into doing maths.
Everybody's happy except Mum when she finds out they've had how many?
Right.
I'm not too practical.
So I think that's what you do. It's sometimes more complicated when you see it on paper, and if you can break it up and make it visual. And I don't think of numbers. I just think I said to you, I think of shapes. I think of a point is 1. And a line, so from there to there, oh, I've got my pen, that's 2 for me. So whenever I think of number 2, I just think of 2 points together. Oh, where are we? Hold on. 2 points together. And if I put another one here, that's the number 3 for me.
Okay.
So that is 3. So whenever I think of 3, I always think of a triangle, and I always think that triangles, if you put them together, you can make other shapes as well. You can get rid of that, and I always think as 4 as a square.
Are you saying you visualize 4?
I visualize it. When I think of number 4,
square.
yeah, because I think I'm used to putting Lego blocks together and seeing how they work, and it's a kind of just a constructive mind. I can construct the shapes. It's to do with crystals, and it's to do with Meccano, and it's to do with how we build buildings. We've got to build squares, we've got to use triangles, and so I always think it's easy for me to think it'll work like that. So you've got 4. What could 5 be? For me, 5 is this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, just leave all of that, and that. We join that with that. That goes to there. That goes to there. That goes to there. So 5 is a star for me.
Oh wow!
5 works as a star.
This is really, really interesting because I do not see numbers that way, but I am aware, and I never even thought about seeing numbers that way.
No,
but the reason why this is it. Hold, just one. I want to say one thing. This is to the parents, anyone that's listening, and that is this just goes to show that you don't know how your child is visualizing numbers.
No,
you might have
you
3
don't.
children, and each one is visualizing the numbers in their own different way, and you could actually maybe find out by asking them to draw pictures of their numbers and
yes, draw pictures, because numbers are fairly new. We didn't have the number 0 for years until it was given to us by the Indians.
We got it last week, didn't we?
Yeah, that's right. And then most of our numbers come from given to us from the Islamic world. So before that, we had to measure things out by notches on sticks.
Yeah,
so
the concept of 0 just didn't exist.
Concept of 0 wasn't there. So decimal system wasn't invented until we got 0. And so the thing about this has got a point, and that usually means it's odd. Okay. So a triangle like that, we know that's odd because it's got a point. Okay.
Point. You mean
so look, there's a point up there.
Like
there's a
point
an
apex.
Okay,
look, watch an apex.
Watch this. So
I just want to say, it looks like this is going over 35 minutes.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm fine. I'm good with it. If you want to stay, I've committed to if anybody has made a comment, I will answer. I will be sending out YouTubes. But in the meantime, we're just going to go ahead. Please join us. We're playing. We're jamming here. So please stay with us if you want to.
Okay.
How is my cousin Rod? Oh my goodness. Hi, Monica. Oh my goodness, my lovely cousin Roddy. I've known him all my life as well. But no surprise there. I've known him since I was 5. I met him when I was 5. So we've lived in different countries. So okay, we're jamming. Feel free to stay with us. We're jamming. Keep going.
All right. So
just as long as you want, Lenny, because I'm loving this.
Okay.
I'll
just carry on through.
I'm just totally intrigued by the whole concept.
I'm just saying that it
helps.
When
you visualize numbers.
Yeah, it just helps. Not everybody, but it helps to think of shapes sometimes rather than numbers. It helps for addition. So there's your 2 that we started with before, and there's another 2, and those 2 2s make 4. But you don't really need to know that. You just know it's 2 piles of what we started with, and this is 3 piles of the same thing, which just happens to be 6. It's also, it's even because it's a mirror image. So you draw a line down the middle, and we don't have a point. So it's the same on this side as it is on that side, or this side is reflected on that side. For 7, I normally do this at top. So that's 7 for me. Wow. And then 8 is that. That's 8, and 8 just happens to be 2 of the 4s that we had before.
So how do you visualize the number 21?
Right, I must admit, you only need to work this up to 10. You only need to work this up to 10. You go to 10? You do actually go to 10. You don't stop at 9.
For
9, then so this is 9 for me. So it's a nice easy. This is tic-tac-toe, Okay, so there you go. So they're all connected to each other. Okay, and it's a nice, easy shape to remember. All right, and what also it tells us is that it's 3 lines of 3 or 3 columns of 3, and it happens to be the square of 3 as well.
It is a square number.
And it is a square number, and it's square as well. So it kind of tells you everything about it in a picture, and a picture tells 1,000 words. And so it's kind of explaining what it is. So that's 9. And then 10 could be that. But then what I tend to do for 10 is I just go back to, oh, I've lost my board. Hold on. So 10, so all I'll do for 10 is get rid of this for a second, and I'll just create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I just put 2 stars next to each other. So there we go. I'll just do that, and you go there, 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 there. So it's just 2 stars. So 2 stars are 10. So there we go. We take away points, and that's 10 for me. Oh, sorry, can't see it. So that's 10. 2 stars equals 10.
So you do go. So that's that, and which is 2 5s.
Which is it happens to be 2 5s. It be 2 stars. It's an even number because you've got 2 stars. That's the same as that. Either side. There's no odd points.
Okay, so it's an even number because you've got 2 odd numbers.
Because you've got 2. No, they reflect each other. And we haven't got any odd points that are not part of the a shape. So it says a few things that work together. So it's nice to visualize shapes because shapes are important. Shapes are important. You know, they're how we build bridges and how we construct buildings and how we build most of the things we build.
And that's something else where you'll get a lot of what's the word, in basically learning that comes from within. I can't think of the word right now.
If you instinctual or
like it's kind of learning that's there's a really posh name for it. But
I think
what you said about building structures is that's a really useful thing. And if you give them a challenge to build the highest one they can, then they will actually automatically learn about strength and structure and shapes. And
I think
a triangle's a very, very key shape here. But I'm looking at my dominoes. Some of these shapes now that doesn't work for 3 and 5, but it does work for 1, which is just 1. 2, you have to go that way, but it's still 2. It's just 2 dots. And then 4 and the 6 are using the same structure. And if you've got 9 number dominoes, you've got the same for the 9. Certainly those are effectively using the same concept as Lenny's using. So it's basically
well, we get a feel for shapes. We get a feel for shapes long before we get a feel for numbers. Babies building blocks. You're given circles and you're given squares and to go into square holes and triangles and stars. So we get a feel for shapes long before maths comes along. And then I understand sometimes why children find it difficult to write numbers because they probably prefer to do what I just did. 1 is a point and 2 is a straight line and 3 is a triangle. So
they have to learn how to write the number. I mean, that in itself is a challenge, which
and it doesn't surprise me that children write
whether a 5-year-old needs to be able to write a number or simply represent them.
So we get a feel for shapes, or we get a feel for space before we get a feel for numbers, and then numbers come later, and then they become more important. And sometimes we get overwhelmed with the importance of numbers and what does X mean. And if you go back to why do we need it or where does it come from, it becomes easier, I think, anyway.
So I think I would not quite agree with that statement. I think the numbers are important from the get-go, but not necessarily scribing them, or not necessarily writing them down. So for example, at the moment I'm playing Monopoly Junior with my grandson who is in Spain. I'm in
Yeah.
England. We're using WhatsApp at the moment, but we'll probably start using Zoom because we're going to bring his dad in on it in the States. And it's literally for him, he's the game master. So when we're playing together in the same room, I get to move my piece, and it started off with him, like when we started playing Monopoly Junior in last October, he was struggling to just count out the numbers, like he'd miss out numbers, or he'd forget where he was supposed to start counting one. Was it on the same spot he was on, or was it the next box? And he'd jump and he'd do stuff. Whereas now he's the game master, and he's having to do the money. He's having to start off with our 20 notes, and now then my next challenge to him is we're going to give him 2 dice. So every time we throw the dice, he's going to actually have to add those 2 numbers together, and I'm going to start giving little challenges. Like, for example, the number that we're going to use is going to be the number underneath the dice, if I've got a dice here, I've got this game here, which should have the dice here. And so I'm going to, if you notice, this is a little tip for you, and it makes some games fun. What do you think, if you're watching, what do you think is the number opposite at the back of this number? If you want to, Steve Sherman's watching, he's going to just know that. That's not going to be any fun at all. Hello, Steve. My goodness, you have time to do everything you're doing and watch this live. Oh my goodness, Steve is the most amazing person. If you need some resources, go to Living Maths. The problem is, can you type it, please? A place where they can go to see your resources, Steve, in the comments. I'm finding I've got not enough. He was here quite a while ago, actually. I'm not sure. I think it's livingmaths.com. I'm not sure. I'm going to put that there. If you just Google Living Maths, you'll find lots of wonderful resources there. And he does a lot of Skype lives and all kinds of things. So on the back of the 4 this is the first thing to do is just play a game. Roll the dice and go, what do you think is on the back of that? And then it could write it down, and you'll see, okay, so it's number 2. So they can write 5 and 2, and then roll it again. Okay, there's number 4. What's on the back of that? Number 3. And roll it again. Number 3. What's on the back of that? Number 4. Roll it again. Just roll it and roll it and roll it, and let them discover and see if they can break it so that it doesn't work. See if they can actually work out that on the back of 1 is 6, on the back of 3 is 4, on the back of 5 is 2. So the challenge then, once they get that, play that, get them for that to be solid, and then, because this is what I'll be doing at some point with my grandson, well, that actually, I'm not actually going to go quite, it might be a bit too soon to do it with my grandson. I'll be doing it with some people over the course of doing the tutoring that I'm doing over the course of this next week. But it takes your brain to another level. So one of the fun games is to roll 2 dice and then work out what the numbers underneath are of both dice, and then multiply them together without actually seeing the numbers, that sort of thing. Just playing games like that. And why did I go there at all? Yes, because I was looking at the dots. And then games you can play with visualizing the numbers in the way Lenny's saying. So what have you got for us there, Lenny?
Oh, right. This is my shapes. So this is, I dream about these when I go to bed. So these are my shapes. And you asked me what would 21 look like. And that's what 21 would look like.
But do you visualize them like that, or is that
I
the
do.
way you?
I do, because yes, it's easy. Yeah, I do. It's I always, if I think of 3, I always think of a triangle, and if I think of 6, I think of 2 triangles or an elongated an oblong. So like that. So that to me just means 21. So that means 555 and a point.
So I think we're going to take that today. So the shapes here. I think we're going to take that today, and we're going to encourage you to find out how your children visualize numbers, and indeed how you visualize numbers.
Yeah.
I think that's what our takeaway from today. and
Yeah.
that's
And how to have fun with shapes.
Oh, we've lost him. Oh, how to have
Sorry,
fun with shapes.
I got a call there. Yeah,
And
how to have fun with shapes.
Construct things, make things, and challenge. Make a challenge to actually make.
Oh, can I set up a challenge?
Oh yes, please.
Okay, I've done this with you a few
type
times.
It.
So,
whatever it is.
Get 6. No, let's start off with three things of the same, 3 circular things the same size. So let's say 3 plates, 3 saucers, even coins.
Hold on,
and
3 circular things, same size.
3 circular objects are exactly the same size.
Objects is a better word. 3 circular objects, exactly the same size.
Exactly the same size. So there could be 3 2-pence pieces, 3 saucers, all the same size. Push them together.
No.
So all the edges are touching. And if you draw a point between the center of each coin, circular object, what shape have you made?
Edges are touching. Draw. Roughing. Edges are roughing. Good old autocorrect. Oh no, autocorrect is just. You know what? Can you just write that in the comments?
I'll write in the comments. That's a challenge. What shape is created by pushing 3 circular objects of the same size together so their edges touch but don't overlap?
And my challenge is to get your children to actually visually represent the numbers. Find some way of getting them to show you how they think of numbers, because there are so many different ways of representing numbers and the way that you work them out together. Brilliant. Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you. That was exciting.
So much, Lenny. Can we do this again then? We'll do this on a regular basis.
Okay. Maybe we'll have a little practice first.
Yeah, let's do a dry run next time. Just put you on the spot there.
Thank you so much. This is a brilliant thing to do. It was really good. So, yeah, well done.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
You are such a pleasure.
Well, you're always inspirational, and that's how you find out new things. So.
I haven't told them, actually, Lenny. We're Guinness World Record holders, aren't we, Lenny?
Yes, we are.
We hold the record for the largest 3D fractal made from modelling balloons, which is based on what shape, Lenny?
A Sierpinski triangle.
Yes, tetrahedron. But what's the basic shape? What's the fundamental shape?
Is it not a tetrahedron? Oh, an equilateral triangle.
Yeah. That's the fundamental shape. And yes, it's the Sierpinski tetrahedron. It's lots of things. But yeah, we're as a team, Lenny and myself and about 12 other people, got this record in 2015. So there you go. So we're Guinness World Record holders. So right. Thank you, Lenny. Oh, and by the way, we are going to get those certificates. I'm still working on it. I haven't given up.
No problem. No, it's being there is enough reward for me.
We're in the book. We're in the 2016 book. I think it's page 91. So if you get this far and you're still here, if you've got the 2016 book, which is gold, we're in it, page 91. Well, I'm in it. They didn't do the group picture with all of us in the book, which I was quite disappointed about. Our record is in it, and I was disappointed about it. Anyway, right. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you. Think maths, have fun.
And we're finding the game in maths and the maths in games.
That's it. Lovely.
Thank you.
Bye.
I'm ending the meeting now. This feels like an anticlimax. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Take care.